Hey everyone! This is a news of the day video before the third preseason game in this preseason action. Does that make any sense to everybody? Anyways, if you're new to this channel, I have 50 years as a Habs fan. I've seen all the highs and lows that go along with that, and there's been plenty of each. I tell you all about it here on my channel and in my videos, and subscribe and ring that notifications bell, and you'll get all those said videos, live streams, contests and podcasts, and I think that's it. And that's all dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. So I have just one item of news that's not, and if they're news, anyways, they're mostly news and notes and stuff. So I have one item that's not Habs related, and that's the Ottawa Senators just signed Thomas Chabot to an 8-year extension for $64 million over those 8 years. That's an $8 million AAV cap hit, if you want to call it that. Either way, so a little bit of a surprise. First of all, the contract kicks in next season. The surprise is that they signed him for so long and for so much money. I guess maybe they realized the mistakes they're making and that the fans are kind of not too happy with them, and they're trying to show their fans a little bit that yes, we're gonna start turning things around. I don't see if they have much choice to do that, but yeah, it's a good move for them. Chabot's a really good defenseman, puts up numbers, plays tons of minutes, and quite frankly, probably the best player on their team right now, arguably at least. So the Ottawa Senators have signed Thomas Chabot to an 8-year, $64 million contract. One other item concerning the Senators that is in the news. It's funny. I saw this actually on Hockey Guy, and that is Eugene Melnick wants his jet back. Apparently, he's in debt to some casino in Vegas, I guess, for the tune of $700,000. No, maybe that's not it. He is in debt to the tune of $700,000 for maintenance. That's what it is. Maintenance for his jet, and blah 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 for his jet, and they have seized his jet. And he wants it back. Imagine, guy's worth $1.1 billion, and he can't pay won't pay a $700,000 bill for maintaining his jet. You'd think that's important? Let me think about that for a second. I have a jet. I'm going to be in the sky, and I want to fly, and I don't want to hit the ground. Maybe it's important to maintain. Okay, so that's the item for of that. So the Montreal Canadiens. Well, I'll just tell you what. There's a game tonight against Florida again. This time it's at the Forum. I'm old enough to say at the Forum, at the Bell Center, and it'll be I don't know which squad. It's A and B. There'll be some different players playing. So I know that Byron and Galley will be seeing their first action tonight. Price is apparently going to play the whole game tonight, even though they're listing in their lineup. I have the lineup 3 goalies, but I've seen that Price is going to be playing all game. One standout from last game, Alex Belzile, getting another chance tonight, so he's going to be playing tonight. So here's the lines that I found online. They're officially from the Montreal Canadiens at practice this morning. And interesting that Byron and Wheel will be centered by, on the top line, Nick Suzuki. Very interesting. Very interesting. They have now put Nick Suzuki in the top line, and they want to see, after that first game where he was mediocre, and I'm a huge Nick Suzuki fan, and he was mediocre, they just put him in, they're going to be putting him in a very important position, and they want to see what he's got. So Nick Suzuki, it is time to step up to the plate. I'm hoping for the best. I really want to see Nick. Look, even if he doesn't make the team and goes to Laval for a little bit, I want to see a good performance in camp from Suzuki. Second line, Lehkonen and Galley, centered by Domi. Third line, Alain and Verbeek-Pezzetta, so that's Verbeek and Pezzetta splitting time, centered by Videmo. And if you're wondering where that name's from, I understand he's either Swedish or Swiss or something like that. He's from one of those countries. Fourth line is Verone and Weiss, centered by Thompson. I'm a little surprised to see that Weiss is in another game. I don't know what they have in mind for him. I imagine they're hoping he plays well and they can trade him. He's got a $2.35, I think, $1 million contract. That's the only explanation I could have, because he is definitely AHL bound. On defense, you got Mete and Weber back together again. Kulak and Brook. Obviously, they're taking a look to see how Kulak and Brook work together. And then Lamarche Sklenika, splitting time on the left side with Willette on the right. And they're listing Price, Kincaid, and Primo. Not Primo, guys. It's not Primo. It's Primo, but that's me. That's a shot at Scott. And Lewis. I think it's Lewis on the Havelis, and he says it too. But it's Primo. It's okay. You can call whatever you want. So those are listed. They're listed. Okay. So that's the lineup tonight for the preseason game. I don't know if it's being telecast anywhere than RDS, which is a subscription thing. I didn't look to see if it's on TSN. I'm going to find it online where I can get it, no problem. Okay, so we've gone through that. In the game last night, did anyone notice how KK is getting much stronger? He slashed, I don't know what Panthers player it was, he slashed his stick and broke it into pieces. I think he's stronger than even he thinks right now. So yes, he got a penalty, but it's now obvious he's got a lot stronger this year. And that's only going to bode well for him when he gets into the corners, battles along the boards, all that kind of stuff. Even getting checked, it's going to bode well that he's put on some good muscle. And that 10 pounds reported that he put on. Drouin. Still looking uninvolved, mostly. I hardly noticed him last night. I understand he didn't play a lot of minutes because he played the game before, I guess. But look, even in the first game, he was noticeable maybe a little bit in the first period. After that, he was barely noticeable. And that's the problem. So if he's doing that now, I don't understand why he's playing like that in preseason if he just can't get his game going. Or is that just the real Jonathan Drouin? If it is, we are screwed this year. So like I said, uninvolved, no second effort, bad decisions. That was a bad decision on that goal when he came out of the penalty box that was scored right after. He went to the scrum where instead of covering the open guy who's Dadonov, who's dangerous, and he's wide open, and he didn't cover him. I don't get that. So it's still early, I'll give you that. It's still early, but they're not good signs for him. Something better. Nick Cousins. Great work ethic, lots of energy, solid defensive game, can create offense on the bottom six, brings a toughness and a willingness to get his nose dirty. He'll replace that part we lost when Shaw got traded. He's a solid two-way player. What am I right here? And still. I wrote the word still, and I just couldn't tell what that was. He still has some upside. He still has some upside when he's put in the right situations. So I really like Nick Cousins. Apparently he can play all kinds of minutes all over the lineup. We're gonna see. I think we're gonna see this guy a lot. Is Ryan Poehling too valuable to send down to the AHL? Is there a top 9 role for him right at this moment as they break camp? He's a solid two-way center. He's key guy on the power play unit when he's playing. Looks NHL ready so far. Great vision and hockey IQ. He's a leader, and he showed that by creating offense with 2 lesser players, if you consider that he's a big talent. He had Nick Cousins and Riley Barber. But now, when you want to consider what Nick Cousins has brought to the table and the kind of game that Riley Barber had last night, I'm wondering if coaching didn't realize, and ahead of us, obviously, the talents that he was actually playing with, and they had a really good game. Best line of the night. He passed the test so far for me. Has a few more tests to pass, though. And he was great when the team was shorthanded, that's for sure. So these are my, I guess it's Habs news of the day. It doesn't really much concern other NHL teams. And I thought you guys would want to hear my opinions on these items, I guess. So if you like this video, give a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And what do I normally say here? I can't remember. I can remember. Subscribe and ring the notifications bell, and that'll notify you of all my videos, live streams, contests, a hockey pool contest I'm running. If anybody entered, you need to check your email. Check your email. Maybe it's in the spam, and go in and register. And podcasts, have a listen. I do the Have a Listen podcast. I didn't do any ads today, so have a listen. Link is in the description. I did the podcast just the other day. When I'm filming this, actually, it was last night. It's out right now. Check it out. Have a listen with Louis, Gibby, and myself. And I won't bore you with any more. But TubeBuddy, very important. If you guys like stats and you like to see things, and you need to do, you're creating a channel and you want to do thumbnails and SEO. TubeBuddy is in the description below. Anyways, nobody watches. It's 10:37 on this video. Nobody watches at this point. If anybody is still watching and hearing me do this, I challenge you to put a comment in the video and say, "Hey Rick, I watched and here's my comment." Thanks if you did that. So did I do all that with the have a blue? Okay, yeah. So you get all, if you, I'm babbling now. If you subscribe and ring the notifications bell, you get all my videos and all that stuff. And that's for your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. And I'm going to end it right here, guys. So thanks for watching once again. Go Habs, go! Bye, y'all.